Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for clicking on the video. This is another review for Good Girls Season 4, Episode 9, Chef Boyardee. All right, let's get to the review. So we see this guy waking up to some pancakes. It's, the middle of the night. Well, I should say the crack of dawn. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning. And his daughter is up cooking pancakes. She's been having nightmares. And I guess that's what eases her mind, well, listen, you done woke me up with the nightmares. I'm up now, And of course he assures her there's not going to be a home invasion. Like, we're safe. I'm going to always keep you safe. Turns out this is the same cop that was in interrogation with Rio back when Rio got caught up, and his alibi was he was at an MMA fight and he showed the police officer his tickets. And so that police officer is who we got, who we starting out the scene with. He's going into the diner to have coffee, I guess, with the councilman brother cousin. So he know everybody. Secret Service duo, they're in their hotel lobby and they're having a drink and Beth comes up. I guess they were supposed to meet her and they never showed. So Beth is like, what's the deal? Like, I thought we were having a meeting. What's going on? And they tell her, DC has pulled the plug. We no longer have a case. It is what it is. Beth is like, no, I think that we can still get him. I think I can still get him, like, let me work this out. Let me do what I do. And, because of course she's like, what about the deal? What about everything? What about all of this stuff that we had set up in place for me to get up out of this town, for Rio to never see or hear from me again? What about all of that? And he's like, drink. Cause I can't help you, sis. I can't help you. Then we see her talking to Ruby and Annie about the same, situation. And Ruby has the same questions. What about the deal? What about my money? What about this move? What about us? And Beth, she has the same response. Drink. Beth asked, Ruby, of course, where do you still have those bags? You still need to sell them bags. I say we sell the bags. And we see Ruby, she's at home dusting off said bags when Stan comes in the house, wondering what's going on. Before she can get it out, what their plan is. He's like, nope. We are not involving Beth. Because his bright idea is to do private parties with the strippers that still have, their own clientele or whatever. And it's like, no, no, Stan. That's not going to bring in enough money to sustain the family. So, no, it's got to be this. We're going to have to bring Beth and Annie into the fold. It just is what it is, Stan. Annie, we see she pops in on Ben. Ben is kind of in his room sulking because he's aware that he's going to have to go back to the public school. And, Annie is just telling him, it's not all bad. Maybe we can find you, like an intramural type of situation so you can play lacrosse. And he say he ain't playing lacrosse no more. He know the public school ain't got the lacrosse team. So he gonna take up karate because he gonna need it anyway for the bullies. The bullies, beforehand, they knew him as, they knew him when he was Sadie. And they bullied her then. And so now that he is Ben, it's probably going to be worse. So Ben said, I got to get up on my karate skills so I can whoop ass the minute I need to. Dean and Beth, they're at the park with the kids. And Dean, he's all excited about Nevada. He looking up, a Pilates class he's going to be taking when he get there, where the kids going to school. He looking up the good neighborhoods, the good school district. He is so excited about Nevada, and Nevada ain't even happening. He don't even know. Their daughter runs over because she says she got a boo-boo. And so Dean, gonna take her around to the house. Soon as he gets up, Rio sits down. And Rio's like, yeah, I'm gonna need you to go do something for me. I'm gonna need a little favor. I want my funny money back. Go on and get that. And she's, of course, like, how am I supposed to do that? That's with the Secret Service duo. How am I supposed to get it back? And he, of course, he's like, not my problem. Sound like a you problem. Round up the crew. Do what you got to do, but get it done. Beth, we see she calls the Secret Service girl and leaves her a voicemail telling her, she wants to meet for that green juice that they were supposed to have, when they first met. And, so she's, going to take her up on it. The girls are in the room as well. And you know, they're of course like, this is not gonna be easy. Like, this ain't no little job. Y'all making it seem like this a little job. This is not no little job. Like, he is asking us to go into the, you know, where the United States government resides and take evidence. Ruby ain't gonna be able to do that. Ruby say, I ain't gonna be able to do that. But anyway, Stan walks in, you know, because we got to talk about these purses and how we gonna distribute them, how we gonna sell them, what is the game plan. This is Stan's, you know, little operation. And so it's his meeting, but Beth get in there trying to run things, you know, because Beth thinks that she just knows better. And it's obvious that Stan don't want to hear nothing that Beth has to say. He's very short with her, you know. It's very much like, this is my house, my meeting. Pipe down. You just take orders. You just do whatever the hell I tell you to do. Okay, Beth? That's Stan's whole position on this thing. Because she got all the questions. You know, she's like, the school, though, like school moms, is this the plan? I don't think this is going to work. I don't think this is going to work. And of course, Stan is like, you got a better idea? No, go ahead. And he going to say, she got a better idea. She got a better idea, Stan. Just go ahead and let her take over. Just let her take on over. And he does. He has to, because she has the better plan. She thinks that it's too risky to deal with the school moms, you know, because you might run into the same people. You never know. Like, what if you got, you know, a mother that has children in about three grades, a fifth grader, a second grader, and a kindergartner? Like, what if that happens, you know? So the school moms probably isn't, you know, the best place to start. But Stan, that, you know, that was his idea. But he bites the bullet and, you know, lets her, you know, plan their little situation. So Stan, and then we see Stan and the three girls, the three strippers from the club. They're about to do a private party. We see, you know, the group, and in attendance is Rio's cop. Well, you know, the cop that was dealing with Rio. The party about to get going, and Beth, is it Beth? Yeah, Beth, Annie, and Ruby. Yeah, they're all there. They flip on the lights, basically. Oh, this is an intermission, commercial break. Y'all trying to buy these bags? I think y'all should buy these bags. You gonna buy these bags? And of course, they're like, we here for the strippers. No, you here for the strippers and the bags, because the strippers ain't stripping until y'all buy some bags. And the cop, of course, he gonna, you know, pull his card, and he pulls out his badge like, not happening. Put all of that away. We ain't come for that. And unless everybody's trying to go to jail, I suggest y'all stop trying to strong arm everybody in the room. So, of course, you know, Stan looking like, ain't this a bitch? It's a cop in here. We all going to jail. We all going to jail. This is boosted material, you know, and on top of that, we trying to sell it. So yeah, that would have been all bad. Dean, we see that he's out with an old friend from work. And you know, he tries to give him his little pyramid scheme pitch, you know. Now that I got you here, I know, you know, the small talk happens first, and then it's, so, are you interested in making a little extra money? That's how it's always small talk first, you know. Oh yeah, babe, it's been a long time. You know, how you been doing? You know, how your kids doing? You look good. Yeah, so I got an opportunity for you. I got an opportunity for you to make some extra money. Are you interested? No, I'm not interested in your pyramid scheme. Okay? No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. I ain't selling nothing. I ain't buying a bunch of product to sell. We're not doing none of that. And friend, you know, is basically cuts him off real quick. Like, you ain't even got to do all of that. I'm not interested, but I will buy some products. You know, I'll at least be a customer. And, friend tries, you know, because friend knows it's a pyramid scheme. He basically is like, I'm not interested in your pyramid scheme, but I will buy, you know, some product from you. And then he tells him that, you know, he knows of a job opening up, you know, because Dean was a really good car salesman. And so this is an opportunity for him to get back to that. And, you know, friends say, I can help you out with that. I can, you know, put in a good word for you if you want me to. Dean's ankle monitor starts to beep. That's embarrassing. And so, you know, he tries to get out of there, you know, without the friend noticing. But friend look all the way down at the at the ankle monitor like, ooh, damn. You got to get home. Okay. Secret Service girl. She's at the precinct signing out the funny money from evidence. We see Rio's cop there. And he's the one helping her, and he mentions, you know, her case, and, you know, do you know why it got, you know, shut down? Do you know why, you know, you've been taken off? You know, like he's trying to get some inside information from her. And when she's signing things out, he notices Rio's picture. So, of course, you know, it takes him back. And he, you know, she just says to him, I guess it just pays to have, you know, people in high places. That's pretty much why my case is closed, because the damn Nick, the guy that we supposed to be getting, he the one with the friends in high places. So yeah, no. Another cop comes in and he asks her for a favor. You know, he needs her to get something out of evidence. She says she gonna do it. Brother cousin is having coffee with Rio's cop, and he asks for tickets to an MMA fight, you know, for his daughter. And brother cousin is like, I mean, well, we usually reserve those for, you know, like the Make-A-Wish Foundation kids, you know, for donors, that sort of thing. And he's like, what about for murderers? And he pulls out the evidence that he asked sis to get, which were the MMA tickets. What about for murderers? You get them for murderers too? I got these off of a gangbanger. Like, how did he get his hands on these tickets? And, you know, brother cousin, I assure you that I don't know. But he say, you know what, I'm going to see what I can do. I'm going to see by getting you some tickets for your daughter. Annie, we see that she's sitting in the financial aid office at Ben's school. And she's applied for financial aid and she has been denied because she has a felony, you know, that drug charge or whatever. And so the lady is basically like, I mean, do you have a husband? Like, you got somebody, like anybody that you know, that sees you naked on a regular. Can somebody co-sign sis? And so she says she gonna get, right after that, we see her, you know, pulling up on that homeless guy that's living outside of his car. And she lets herself inside. And, of course, he ain't happy to see her because he's tired of her always coming up in there trying to use him. And she gives him the paperwork and says, you know, if you do this for me, then you know, no, he says, if I do this for you, then you'll have to do something for me. And of course she's like, what is it? He say, never come back here again. Leave me alone. Stop bothering me. Please. Don't come around here no more. And she agrees. Then we see Beth sitting with another mom trying to convince her to buy one of the bags. And her husband gets home and it's a guy from the party. He's shook after seeing Beth, you know, because he automatically knows who she is and why she's there. And, you know, he asks what she's doing there and she tells him she wants him to buy up all the bags. I want you and your friends to buy these bags. That's what I want. And he's like, no, he calls her dumb or something like that because, you know, she tells him that I want you and all your friends to buy your wives bags. And he was like, that's dumb. No, what's dumb is that you didn't think, that you thought I didn't record all of that happened the other night. That's what's dumb. And when the wife comes back into the room, you know, Beth automatically, oh, let me show you, girl. Let me show you this little pop-up shop that we did last night. My phone ain't in here. It's in the holster. Let me show you what we did, girl. And if you just swipe up, you see. And before, you know, because she ain't really got nothing. But he thinks she does. And, of course, he interjects. Oh, I'll just buy all the bags. Let's just buy the bags. Okay? You got me. Before you start flipping through and my wife sees that I was down there with the butt-naked strippers. So, yeah. He on board. He on board. Beth and Ruby, they're checking, you know, the Cash App because the Cash Apps are coming through. And, you know, because the purses are selling and the payments are rolling in. Stan gets home and sees, you know, that they all giggly or whatever. And they tell him, you know, they got some of the money. Some of the other guys want to pay in cash. But he don't care. He like, oh, okay, cool story. And he walks off. He still got an attitude, still salty. Get over it. Please, Stan. Get over it. Ruby's daughter, she comes in. She needs help with her homework, so Ruby has to help her. So she steps away for a minute. Beth is still in the kitchen with Stan, and they have a run-in because Stan got an attitude, and so she's just like, what's the problem? You the problem. He called her manipulative. He say that she only cares about herself. She ain't been, don't nobody pay attention to her at home, which is why she is the way she is. Like, he read her life down. And rightly so, I'm partially on his side with this, because Beth is selfish when it comes to all of this that's going on. Like, her bottom line is Beth. It ain't for the good of everybody. It's for the good of Beth. And so, yeah, he got a right to be upset, that Beth has been the bad influence, but your wife is grown. We're not dealing with teenagers. Like, she's a whole adult that can make her own decisions. He's upset that she got shot. He blaming her for that. That ain't her fault. Like, Ruby did not have to agree to, because see, listen, how it started is everybody needed some money. Dean and Beth, they were having financial problems because Dean done the thing, over there at the car dealership. And then Ruby's daughter needed a kidney. They didn't have the money for that. And her daughter needed a kidney or she was going to die. That was a desperate situation. Annie is in a desperate situation because she's, a 30-something-year-old woman living off of minimum wage, working 2, 3, 4 jobs, and still not able to, care for her child, the way that she should. Everybody needed the coin. And so they decided to rob that store. Ruby included. Ain't nobody said, Ruby, you better rob this store or else. It wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. Nobody had to. It didn't take that much convincing. Everybody needed the money. And so you was fine when she got the kidney. Like, you was fine when you were reaping the benefits of all of this money. I don't get Stan. He really blames Beth for it all. Like, you the reason why my wife is the way she is. You the reason why she, got to walk with a cane. You the reason she got shot. You the reason we in financial ruin. No, Beth is not. Like, you're going to have to put some of that responsibility on Ruby, because Ruby had a choice. Anyway, Beth pops in on the Secret Service girl. Of course, at first the lady is like, girl, I ain't trying to get no green juice with you. Why are you here? What do you want? And Beth is like, I'm not a complete bitch. Okay, like, let me in, girl. I'm not a complete bitch. She half a bitch though, because Beth is on some bull. She's on some bull, and she know it. But she brought the green juice and liquor. So sis say, listen, I only take shots. Come on in. Dean, he's having a beer with his new friend, one of the people from the bike group. And Dean is, kind of leaning the conversations towards, I'm about to quit. And, because he wants to go back to being a car salesman. That's what he was really good at. And Fran, of course, tries to convince him to stay at first. And, Dean just says it's not for him. And Fran is like, okay, cool. Just write me a check for the product and we good. And Dean says, oh, I got you. He had already boxed up everything that he got. I already boxed all of this stuff up. It didn't get sold. Here you go. Fran said, oh, no, those were samples. I still got loads, a year's worth. You signed a contract to sell a year's worth of product. And I got that over there at the house in the garage. So that's what you writing the check for. Or you could sell it. So that's the scam. You got all of this shit that you can't sell, that you got to sell, or come up out your own pocket and pay for it. A scheme that Todd set up for him to come to us with the bullshit. Anyway, that's just a damn goop. Okay. Woo, Dean said, maybe I can tough it out, I guess. I guess I can tough it out. I guess you're going to have to. Otherwise, what you going to do, Dean? Annie and Ruby, they're outside waiting on Beth. They sitting outside the apartment complex on a little park bench. And Beth is in there with the Secret Service girl, you know, taking shots or whatever, having conversation, talking about the high school days and who was popular. Because Beth is trying to prove to her, girl, I was once just like you. I was the girl in school ain't nobody like either. Like, I wasn't popular. I wasn't prom queen. I wasn't homecoming queen. I was none of that. I was a cheerleader. But I mean, that's about it. And you know, while she's talking, she's, you know, walking around the room trying to find that money. And she ends up finding it. She finds the box or whatever, trying to stall. The girl's in the bathroom. She's still trying to stall. And then she just throws it out the window. Meanwhile, Annie and Ruby are down there, and Ruby is talking to Annie about Stan. You know, my husband hates my best friend, and you know, Annie always, when Ruby and Annie are, you know, hashing things out, it's more so Ruby processing it all and working through it all on her own, because Annie is always just outlandish in her thinking, like always. But the box just falls out the sky. And so they got the money. And I'm like, how high was they? You know, like what floor was she on? Because the box didn't, you know, like break. A box full of money like that, it would have broke the box on the bottom if she had threw it up from, you know, a high story. But maybe they was just on the second floor. I don't know. But that box money should have been all over the sidewalk, but it wasn't. It just fell boop perfectly right there in front of them. Rio, we see him training again. You know, he's boxing. And brother cousin comes there and, you know, he wants to spar a little bit. Let me get on in the ring with you and spar a little bit. You know, for old time's sake. And brother cousin starts prying a little bit. You know, he asking about the MMA fight. And Rio got all of these details, but he knows that he wasn't there. Brother cousin is like, you did it. You did it for her. No, he says sometimes he work weekends, you know, because he asked him about them tickets. He knows where them tickets come from. You know, those are his the tickets that he has, I guess, on standby, you know, to give away. And Rio has them. So what you was doing, Rio? Because I know you wasn't at the MMA fight. So what were you doing? Rio say he work on the weekends. And brother cousin is like, did you do it for her? And basically, he not here for Rio falling in love. You know, it's like, keep your head in the game, okay? You're not finna be fooling around with Beth on that level, because you're not thinking clearly. You about to get us in some trouble. You about to mess up the whole thing, mess around with Beth. Next thing we see, you know, he ain't happy because he think Rio being sloppy. But next thing we see is some dudes hold Rio down, you know, on the ropes. And he pick up a stool and beats Rio's ass with it. You know, I guess he gonna teach him a lesson. So it's confirmed that brother cousin is the one that's in charge. We can just go on and confirm that he's the boss. He's the one in charge of all of this. He's orchestrating all of it. He's pulling all the strings. Brother cousin is the one. Annie, we see she gets a knock at her door, and it's homeless bae. Homeless bae say he homeless for real now because his car was struck by a falling power line, you know, so it set it on fire and all of that. So he really has nowhere to go. Next thing we see, though, you know, Ben gets home and he come out using Ben's toothbrush. So now, sorry, Ben, good news and bad news. This is the bad news. You know, you got a roommate. Good news is, though, you're back in St. Anne. So, oh well, Ben, sorry. Mama did what she had to do. Then we see Beth. She meets Rio to give him the money back. And of course, he wants to know, like, how'd you get the money back? How were you able to do that? And she says, just being myself. And she wants to know, you know, what you gonna buy? And he says, I'm gonna buy you a little something special. Got you, girl. And she asks, how did he get that black eye? And he says, just being myself. And gets up and walks away. We see that the cop gets home with his tickets, all excited. And, you know, he's calling out to his daughter, but she don't answer. We flip over. Ruby's laying in bed. And she tells Stan that, you know, I never did any of this for Beth. Like, I did it for me. And he just says, okay. Then we back at the cop's house, and you know, he smells food cooking. You know, he's walking through the kitchen. His daughter isn't responding, and when he goes to the kitchen, it's Rio's muscle in the kitchen eating Chef Boyardee. Then we see Dean in the hot tub with his new friends. He's looking, you know, in space, kind of stoic. You know, what did I get myself into? I guess he feeling stuck, because he pretty much is, until he sells all that product. And I say they buy it all up with the fake ass money. I say that's what they do with that. Listen, Dean, you know how you gonna sell that daggone product, so don't even act. Anyway, then we see this letter on a table, this manila folder or whatever, and it's addressed to the Secret Service agents. And we see this splatter of the Chef Boyardee all over it. I don't know what happened in that scene, but that's all we see. I'm assuming somebody was killed. Beth, she gets a package, and it's from Rio because it's addressed to Elizabeth. And she and the girls open it together. And what do they have? Stencils. They got more stencils that so print more money, but this time it's Canadian money. This operation is huge. Brother Cousin did that. Okay? You did that, Brother Cousin, because you started from the bottom, and now look at you. Now look at you. Councilman Brother Cousin. You know, you a councilman, and you got this going on the side. He's always been playing the long game. Always. Anyway, guys, I will see you guys when we return. I'm gonna miss you, because I really enjoy Good Girls. I enjoy reviewing it. I enjoy watching it. I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss it on my Sunday nights. Anyway, I got to get off of here and review Run the World. So be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Call Me Busby, and I'll chat with you later. Peace and light.